In Activity 12, the Changing Populations game, students simulate the interactions between predator and prey populations. They discuss the different challenges predators and prey must face in nature, and then discuss how predator and prey populations affect each other. You will need the following materials from the kit: Activity Sheet 12, Changing Populations Game Chart, Index Cards, Masking Tape, and Skein of Red Yarn. You will also need to provide paper bags, large bowls, red, blue, and green crayons, hole punch, felt tip marker, bag of unpopped popcorn, and scissors. To prepare for the activity, make a copy of Activity Sheet 12 for each student. With the marker, label 18 index cards aphid, 9 cards ladybug, and 5 cards bird. Punch holes in the top corners of each card. Cut a piece of yarn 1 meter long for each student. Pop enough popcorn to fill 2 large bowls. Arrange to have the use of the playground or gymnasium for the game. To begin the activity, review the relationships of the animals studied in this module by asking, which of the organisms eat which? Students should recall that ladybugs eat aphids and aphids eat bean plants. Then explain that many birds eat ladybugs. Distribute an index card and a piece of yarn to each student. Pass out crayons and have students color the aphid cards green, the ladybug cards red, and the bird cards blue, so they can be distinguished from one another at a distance. Show students how to tie the yarn through the holes in the name tags and hang the cards around their necks to identify their roles during the game. The 18 students who are aphids will also receive a paper bag. Tell students that they will be playing a game of tag called the Changing Populations game, and explain the rules. First, popcorn is scattered over the playing area to represent bean plants. The purpose of the game is for each animal to tag the kind of animal it eats. When students are tagged, they must give their name tags and any popcorn they have collected to the one who tagged them and go to a designated timeout area. A safety zone is also designated to represent a hideout or shelter that real animals use. Students may not stay in the safety zone for more than 20 seconds, and predators must stay at least 5 feet away from the safety zone. Next, take students to the area where they will play the game. Inform students that they must wait to begin until their animal's name is called. Then, review the rules of the game. Aphids will collect popcorn in their bags. Ladybugs will try to tag aphids, and birds will try to tag ladybugs. Remind players that when they are tagged, they must give their name tags and any popcorn they have collected to the person who tagged them, and they go to the timeout area. Start the game by allowing the aphids to start collecting popcorn. After about 30 seconds, let the ladybugs join the game. Then, after another 30 seconds, let the birds begin. Play the game for about 5 minutes, and then call a break. Take a census of the animals remaining in the game, and record this information on the Changing Populations game chart with the marker. After each round, scatter the popcorn back over the playing area. Redistribute the name tags and the paper bags, and play another round. Play several rounds and encourage students to role-play different animals. Return to the classroom and post the Changing Populations game chart. Distribute a copy of Activity Sheet 12 to each student and allow time for everyone to answer the questions. Then ask students which animals in this game were predators, which were prey. Students should respond that the birds and ladybugs were predators, and the ladybugs and aphids were both prey. Then begin a discussion by asking, what was it like to be a prey animal in this game? What 2 things did you have to think about at the same time? Elicit that as a prey animal, students were faced with 2 challenges: find food to eat and avoid being eaten. Then ask students, what was it like being a bird? They may reply that as the top predator in this game, birds were not hunted and eaten by other predators, but they had less available food than ladybugs and aphids. Ask students, what helped each kind of animal be successful? Students will probably say it was helpful to be fast, to be able to change directions quickly, and to have a place to hide. Then ask, what advantages do the animals in your game have in real life that help them survive? Students may realize that being able to fly like ladybugs and birds, or being colored so that they blend in with their surroundings like the aphids would be helpful to their survival. Next, ask students, were all the animals in any one group eaten? It is unlikely this would have happened, since the game is set up with more prey than predators. Then ask, what would happen in real life if all the prey animals were eaten? Students may understand that the predators would eventually die of starvation. Inform students that in nature there are usually many more prey animals than predator animals, just as in the game. Point out and read the results aloud of each round on the chart and ask, why were the populations of the prey animals different in different rounds? Through the data, students should see that the populations rose and fell according to how many prey animals were available and how many predators were eating them. Finally, ask, is this anything like real life? Students should understand that populations rise and fall in response to food supply and number of predators as they observed with the aphids, fruit flies, and Daphnia. To conclude the activity, collect the materials and return them to the kit. For science background, reinforcement activities, curriculum connections, and information about the Delta Science Reader, please consult your DSM Teacher's Guide.